Shalom, my brothers and sisters. This today the Most High Yahuah has made. I will rejoice to be glad in it. I've been trying to do a video, and I have so many videos lined up to make one video. Because as I go throughout the days, the Most High Yahuah is steady telling me over like more stuff. And how Satan deceived the world. I told y'all through this. I'm gonna keep saying that. This book they turned into like a Freemasonry book. And I told you about how the fraternities and sororities, how they say they could use this word, even in Freemasonry, and they just take out the name and use what name they want to use in it. It's all to worship the Roman gods, which Egypt, they worship so many gods. They worship fallen angels. It's Egyptian practice. It's all wrapped up into Christianity. They hide beyond Christianity. And they use the name JC, Jesus Christ. That's a Roman god, Zeus. These are two, Yahuah and Jesus Christ are two separate people. Can't compare. They made Jesus Christ up in the Roman days to do religious practice. It's Catholicism, all that wrapped up. Egyptian practices, how they have you to do traditions, witchcraft. It's all wrapped up into this word. That's why the Most High Yahuah told us to make sure we use his name and say the Ruach HaKodesh, set apart. And a lot of fraternities and sororities, they use this word. And then that's why I told you a lot of them say they denounce, and they came out of denouncing the Greek name, but they still say JC, Jesus Christ. He a Greek. He the Antichrist, the main one. And you see a lot of them bickering, like Christians and the Hebrew Israelites, and they fighting against each other. They're on the same team. Most High said, many people are deceived. Shaitan deceived many people, and it's through this word. And it's all Roman. To worship Greek gods. Shaitan and the fallen angels. And he been giving me so many movies dealing with Roman. Even with children movies, Box Troll. And I woke up this morning, he told me about, it's all Roman Empire, and he destroying everybody that follow him. They JC and all. They've been deceiving people for so many years, y'all. And this is how they have people under slavery. I'm going to go more into detail into this video. And I'm trying to add clips in there from another day, but I'm going to try to get it the best way I can. As he's showing me. It wasn't no J back in the Hebrew days, y'all. They stole our Father's word and changed it for their own use. And made it Roman, Greek, fraternities, Freemasonry. You can worship any god. This is the one world religion. I told y'all. It's all to worship Shaitan. They have people fooled. And then how you see how people, they saying persecuting the Christians. The Most High Yahuah had me to the point that also, he also handed people over to a strong delusion. But also he had me to the point that they fight amongst themselves. Just like with the Christianity and with the UCI, the Freemasonry, they all the same. That 2819, they all the same. It's called discourse, to push everybody to the beast. They have people confused. But they fight among each other because that's what they do. They like chaos, destruction. In the Roman days, they even unalive their own people just to get to the throne. It's all to worship Romans, y'all. The fallen angels, Shaitan and fallen angels. And even as many people get from the word and know that they tend to the word, and some of them fall from the word, he said his word never changed. It's the titles. It's how they switched it up. Because then I seen in a video when the Most High Yahuah was telling me about with sororities and fraternities, you know how they say, how in the word it says the Most High Yahuah is the Alpha and Omega. You know they use that for fraternity names.
It's the first time for everything. Speaking of that Bible, I love the part where it mentions God was an alpha. That is funny. Well, you know, I love the part when they said God was an omega. Oh, man. I'm sorry I am late.
For Greek gods. Which they also saying that Shaitan is the Alpha and the Omega, but also they could be a god. Gnosticism. This is what Shaitan came to Eve. He came in the form of a man to Adam and Eve, but came to Eve. Because the Most High had to curse him later on and have him crawl on his belly. And he came and gave her the knowledge, forbidden knowledge. They could be a god, worship any god. Fallen angels give them the knowledge, the wisdom. That's why the Most High Yahuah also told me to be careful of all these pastors and preachers and who all leaders and teachers falsehood. They lead people to slavery because a lot of them worship, they into them fraternity sororities and they with Rome, Greek gods, even in Christianity. And even though they say JC and they had him as a white man, they have him as a black man, it's not about the color of skin. It's about the name, Zeus. No matter what the color of skin is, as long as you have the name, you still worshiping a Roman god. This is so much you've been showing me, y'all. And then he's telling me it over and over again, because I told y'all at first, he told me this word, they turned his word into Freemasonry. They put into it, they know his words. Shaitan know his word. He take out of it what he want to take out of it, put in what he want to put out of it. That was that's what a pro-Gnostics is. A Gnostic. Gnosticism. They witches, warlocks. This is what all the fraternity and sororities are. They Greek. They do Egyptian practices. Just not with them. Whoever on the world, they practice Egyptian practices. The Romans got with Egypt, started doing Egyptian practices. But Shaitan, there's fallen angels. There's fallen angel practices. That's why the Most High Yahuah told us to impure conscience. He said, be careful of those who are too highly educated, because they go into other stuff. What you think they have you go to school for? They was teaching us all about Roman, European, teaching us in the schools, their history, their vision on television, giving us what they want about Roman, but always saying that we are evil, the color, and we have our color of skin in all races that they did slavery with because of your skin, racism. But it go higher than that because they traits. I'm gonna give you in the video. And this is why they have the sororities and fraternities. Let me read a word about how the Romans. Okay, I found a definition about the Romans. This is how the sororities and celebrities and all them, they have a position because they like education. They like influencers. They like influencers because they call them as a leader. What you think they say Masons and all them are leaders? Say they're great leaders to lead people astray. This also with, you got to be careful with who you listening to. Traditions of men. Most High Yahuah also told us a lot of stuff that they teaching. Having yokes and bonds. Slavery on people's neck. But they're on the other side, y'all. This is why he told me to make sure I stay to him, myself. I don't be watching folks. This way you cannot be deceived when you went talking to him. He said my people perish for lack of knowledge. He just gave me that. He been showing me so much about Roman and Greek videos. Stuff going on, y'all. They look at us as slaves, like we nothing. Okay, let me read what I had. Okay, slavery in ancient Rome. Slavery played an important role in the society and the economy of ancient Rome. Unskilled or lower skilled slaves labored in the fields, mines, and mills with few opportunities for advancement and little chances of freedom. Didn't they do all people like that? But it turned out to be into the whole world. They really target us. It starts with us. The Most High Yahuah said it starts with us first. His children, his house. And then they go to other ones. They use us as an example. Because the dark our skin, the closer we are to our Father, they know He created us. Shaitan know our skin folks ain't your kin folks. It's after the children of Yasharel, y'all. And He said He grafted some in. Whoever He want to come in, grafted. Okay, it says, skills and education slaves included artisans, chefs, domestic staff, and personal attendants, entertainers, business managers, accountants, bankers, educators at all levels, secret societies, fraternity sororities, educate all levels. And also it said chef, cooks. They had a slave and cook in the kitchen, even as you get your job now. It was moderate, now it went to more advanced. Start out with us, how they use us as examples on the television and stuff, and in real life, slavery, us, because our skin. And it says domestic staff. Don't you see how they have the Hispanics, have them now more in the field? Have them working on houses. You know how back in the days Trump and it was saying that had people fighting against each other, talking about how they illegal immigrants are coming over and they taking our jobs. Telling, I gave a video on that a long time ago saying that slaves fighting for a position, your job. And it's not only that about your color, because you got Caucasians, Asians, all of them, they fit in this category where they have you at a job placements. They look out for their own. Let's look at this. It says, at all levels, secretaries and librarians, civil servants, and physicians occupy a more privileged tier of servitude and could hope to obtain freedom through one of several well-defined paths with protection under the law. So they look out for their own. But they have to go into that law. They built the matrix, y'all. This worldly system. For their own. It says the possibility of manumission and subsequent citizenship was a distinguished feature of Rome's system of slavery, resulting in a significant influence number of freed person in Rome's society. It's Roman society. This is why Babylon over the whole wide world. Superior. This is why a lot of our people, I told this whole world, everything you see on the TV, the musicians, everybody in, they craftsmen. They leadership, but they not above the high people. If you're not in that category of how they list you as a true Roman, still a slave to them. Tell you how they have with the gospel singers, all them, who all with this world, they control the world. Rome. And you got to bow down to them and play a part. That's why they gave us a school system, they work system, how they give you also trades. All that is to benefit them, because the money go back to them. You're a slave to them, no matter what job you working in. The higher people is a level, and then you under them, slave. So everybody is slave to Satan. Only way you free in Yahuah. It said at all levels of employment, free working people form slaves, and then slaves mostly did the same kind of jobs. Elite Romans whose wealth came from property ownership saw little difference between slavery and the dependence of earning wages from labor. You see, they stole our property. How they been doing us? They say black people for years, but when that COVID happened, you see, they shut down everything and started robbing other folks. people don't understand they no different than us. We was an example. Our ancestors, they still have us to a point now. That's why we don't believe in this system. You don't trust in this system. It's corrupt. People fighting of who, what president, this and that, fighting for laws and all. They just say it's Roman. They laws to, no matter who you have as president or who you pick, governor, them people that in that higher position, they already Freemasonry and into fraternities and sororities. You see on here on YouTube, you see how many already? You see them so advanced and they have so many numbers. These people did they did rituals, humiliation rituals and everything to get to a higher level. Why you see them with so many why you see them with so much money, advances and all that? Because they bow down to Shaitan and the fallen angels. They bow down to the system. Most High Yahuah told us they dead, they no more living. It's hard for a true child of Yasharel to get up in this system. They just told you. That's why Most High Yahuah said he for the poor. You fight so much for the things of the world, and it's a system. They got it already planned out, this matrix. You never can get up unless you bow to them and go on their side. And then they still rob them because a lot of singers and celebrities in them, they still broke. Ain't got no money. Fantasia said she was broke at one time. They still have him as a slave. They broke. Look how with Angie Stone in them. She was in a fraternity. Fantasia in a fraternity too. Greek gods. Told you the Phoenicians, the Masons, and the fraternities and sororities creeping up. They rising up. Roman, superior, empire, Greek. That's why I said you see them with all different colors and they brotherhood, sisterhood, but then you see them, they have all of us against each other. I ain't gonna say us because I don't hate nobody. I love all. I was raised not to be racism. I was raised, we all looked out for each other, no matter what color our skin was. No matter how nobody did us dirty. I'm not racist. I'm not hateful. And it's all to sow the hearts of men. They slave, your own kind slave you and others slave you because it's high superiority. Roman, Greek, Egyptian practice. You know how he gave me about the Patriots and also how he had given me, I shared in a video with y'all about how Shaitan been released from the bottomless pit and he running to and fro because he knows his time is short, and how he had me connected to the Statue of Liberty with the broken chain and Shaitan. The Most High y'all been telling me about this world. That's why he told me in the first beginning, don't believe nothing in this world, right? This world is all false. It's a matrix. We're living in a matrix, y'all. Matrix. He telling me again. And he breaking it down to me a little more that I can give it to you guys. Maybe you can understand. And I'm going to give y'all into a movie he got me. And also what he's telling me about what he going to do to them that did to our people. And just not our people, because it's started to be over the whole world, right? It's really targeting those who are woke. We're in a matrix. They don't want you to be woke, y'all. They don't want you to wake up to the truth. So since all this stuff going on, so much technology and people getting opened up to the truth, Yahuah is allowing the truth to be out, right? Because he said that it was going to be at a time that the book will be sealed until prophecy will be sealed until at the end of times, then everything be revealed. And those who seeking the truth and that's walking in his son, Yahushua HaMashiach, which he is to salvation, this is the only way out. This is the only way out of the matrix, y'all. Freedom. Yahushua. He the only way out of the matrix. believing in him, having faith in him, knowing that you're free from sins and he protect us from these evil demons in this world, Shantan and his evil demons. And he's coming back and he's going to destroy them. Because he got me with the Matrix, y'all. You know how Shantan and his minions was kicked out of heaven. And he told us about the mother, who, great Babylon the harlot. Also, is Eve. In the beginning, they worship these Freemasonry and the witches and warlocks, and they worship Eve. The mother, the first mother, they called her from heaven that Yahuah had created. This why they not worried about Adam. They worship Eve. She went against the Most High to eat knowledge, the tree of knowledge. And they admire her. This way it all started off as the woman, the great harlot. Eve. This why he told us like the Gnostics, Freemasonry, the witches, warlock, all them other religions, they worship her. Started to the universe, because they look at her as the first woman in the universe. Most High got me like when he kicked Shantan and them down from heaven, right? And they came on the earth and they started tampering. They knew so much, they started tampering with, teaching me and all this, but they created a matrix. They created a matrix, y'all, which is the mother of the universe. This is why they so attached to her. She helped them create the matrix. This is why Most High Yahuah say he coming and he destroying. He gonna give a new earth and a new heaven. He gonna destroy everything. Because they use her for the matrix. And that's why he had me also about how they tamper with portals and stuff. The matrix. And they don't want you to be woke. And Yahuah, Most High Yahuah, sent his son Yahuah, should start telling people to wake up and start telling them about the kingdom. He was giving them knowledge on what he giving us now. Matrix. And that's why they doing like a reset. That's why I told you, seemed like when I was telling y'all, when I read the word and the Most High Yahuah had me in my spirit, like this is where we at now. Because it's repeat. History repeat itself. But he gonna destroy it. He gonna destroy the world and start all over again. Like they'll go so far with the matrix, and when people get woke up, they try to reset it. Rewriting history. You see how Trump and them want to go on and remove history and try to rewrite it and move what they did, slavery, to our people and to wake people up. And he said he getting rid of the woke. Because they don't want people. Once you start waking up to the truth, they want to reset it. But how they reset it is trying to manipulate with the mindset. But they do it through witchcraft, sorcery, stargates, all them, divination. They tamper. I seen one lady. Well, I'm saying witch. I seen one witch. She was talking about open up portals to let heaven on earth. What heaven she talking about? And then got the eye everywhere. I'm telling y'all, the Most High destroying. These do not living in the matrix. Is we waking up, Yahuah, waking us up. The Yahuah Kakadash. Waking people up to the truth. And some people, this is why the Most High, y'all, he bring me back to the scripture. You know how he said, the Most High Yahuah will send a seed and he'll drop it on stony ground, and some of them won't stay woke because Satan come and snatch it again. He'll send somebody to come snatch it again because also they want to mess with your belief system. The Most High Yahuah waking people up, putting a seed in them. They go see something else, and I told you through this, manipulate the mindset, even off in the churches and religions. Because these ain't nothing but a lot of Freemasonry, witches, and warlocks. They created this, and they manipulate their way. Like when I told y'all how over there, a synagogue of Satan. That's the head place over there. That's the head place. That's why they rule over things. They got them temples and everything they build. That's why they worship Solomon. Told you in the word, they take out what they want to take out out of the word and put in the word, like even with the Bibles. There's different Bibles, parts of the Bible we don't know. But they'll take out what they want to take out and put in what they want to put in. But you still can't run from the word. The Most High Yahuah word gonna stand. He said the word will never change. He never changes. So his word will never change, even though they tampered. But also he gives us Ruach HaKodesh. But look at this. So you know how I looked, the Most High Yahuah had me to look up in Solomon, all different chapters. I mean, like, in so many chapters. Majority of the chapters Solomon in, it's in this book. They put majority of Solomon in this book. That's why they had to like masonry and witchcraft. He in First Kings, he in Song of Solomon, he in y'all had it written down. Song of Solomon, First King, let me get my notes. Thank you, Abba. Oh, he in Eclipse, they got Solomon. In Ecclesiastics, Song of Solomon, Proverbs, First King, and then they got him in Second Chronicles. Majority of, not saying majority of the book, but they got him majority in. Why they got him so much in him? Because they made it to the point to worship Solomon. Because they idolize him. Because Solomon opened the door for them. He was the wisest man on earth at that time that opened the door, was more obedient and opened the door to let them do what they want to do. Told you talking about portals and everything for them to do. He was more obedient to Shatan. That's why a warlock. And that's why I started in the church. It got me with the churches because the Most High Yahuah got me also in the church. That's why he said religion. And you know how he's told us about how Christianity, how they had Christianity, how they had converted us over. Okay. You know how they had back in the days and they converted, like he got me about the Roman Empire. He gave me this movie and it was talking about the body, and they was talking about the body of JC. But what got me in this movie, in the first beginning, I didn't watch all of it because y'all know I just get what he give me. But Most High Y'all was telling me, they ain't even say his name right. They say Yeshua. But that's why also he told me about the churches. But at the beginning of this movie, he told this woman, she said, why we couldn't find no really remains of certain people, and all like you could find his parts. This man say, what they've been doing to our people for years in slavery. He said they feed the remaining people to the dogs and beasts, dogs. And he said they set them on fire. And then I looked more into it. They hang them crucified. Crucifixion. What they do to our people all these years. Those are Roman practice. That's a humiliation practices. And Most High Yahuah got me back in Babylon. Humiliation, what they did to us and other people later on they did. He gonna do the same thing to them. Hang them for trees, burn them up. And who do that? The KKK. And those were slave owners, Freemasonry. You had it on both sides, black and white. that became slave owners was buying and selling their own people. What you think you got fighting? We fighting against up on here. Everybody ain't all skin folks and not your kin folks. It's going on both sides. They pushed us so you could start sinning, and then they manipulate, putting that hate crime, doing all this, but all this is still represented the Roman. Because also with Kanye West, he had that black thing on. He telling you the truth. Black Klansman. Got the white ones. Then it was a movie called Black Klansman. They on both sides. Most High Yahuah told us this. You got Freemasonry on both sides. Hebrew Israelites say they are Hebrews, and the white Hebrews and the black Hebrews, whoever them, they say they're Israel over there, but they not. They synagogue of Satan. Y'all, manipulation. And also the Most High Yahuah had me about how, this why they say JS. They made that Jesus, that Zeus, that church. And why you think the KKKs, they had them stall, had the KKK had the cross on them? They been for years. Look at this. What they got on JS. Look at them in the church with you got the Masonic flag on them. Y'all know I'm gonna clip that on them. But look at them, KKK in the church religion, and how you to worship at JS. With the Most High told us back in the day, they had slavery people to believe in that, had you to believe in that JS that saved you, and they made him white, and then some of them they made him black. White KKK, black KKK. White Hebrew Israelites that say they the real Israelites, the black Hebrew Israelites say they the Israelites. They don't worship our Father and His Son, Yahuah Shamashiach. They don't even believe in Yahuah Shamashiach. Because He set you free from the matrix. He set us free. This. You know what the Most High Yahuah told us about death coming to this world, and He doing a disaster, and it's going to be of His children that went against Him. And you know, He said doing to the world. You know what also He had me about? What's the wages of sin? Death. They want you to be sinful. This is why the Most High Yahuah told us to follow the commandments, the Torah. Going out of line, you'll sin to introduce to the wickedness and witchcraft of this world. How they want to keep going, they repeat, they reset. That's why they say they want to reset. They trying to shift the matrix, shift the matrix. When you get too woke, shift the matrix. They sending all kind of stuff to try to make sure you don't remember what Most High Yahuah teach you. But only way you'll know, you keep in with the Ruach HaKodesh, Yahuah. You leave Yahuah, you no more walking in the light. You in the dark. Double-minded, so you don't know, you confused, you don't know what's going on, what they doing through stuff, but you have to stay pure. It's a matrix, y'all. That's why they try to reset and keep on with mind manipulation. Witchcraft is a sign of manipulation. They manipulate mind right here. Give you one story. You see how he said false prophets, they rewriting the history, lying. Prognostics. He had me in here also there with medicine. What we say, the pharmaceutical. But also prognostics, it's in the word He gave me. What are you doing in Babylon? Them the Freemasonries. Also a different religion. Manipulating. Keeping you from the truth. That's why you can't try to talk to people they don't want to believe. The Most High Yahuah said we have to Protect your mind at all costs. Keep your things on above. Keep your mind on him. He said, meditate on his word. Meditate on his word and his judgments. Meditate, stay in his law, his commandments, and his judgments, his statutes. Testimony of being freedom. Only way out of this matrix is freedom through Yahuah. So why are we going to get persecuted? Because we know the truth. And we alert people just like Yahuah. We the light. This was Satan want hell on earth. So he's going to try to get rid of the light, but he can't get rid of us. He gave me this movie. He was telling me about slavery. A Long Walk Home with Whoopi Goldberg. How they did our people back in the day. So let's look at this. Crucifixion in the Roman world, a painful and humiliating punishment. It says Appian Way was one of the first Greek Roman roads. If you were one of the thousand of people who walked in this road in 73 BCE, before Christ. But you know they said Christ, and they had it with Christo, before Yahuah. It said you might have seen a truly horrific sight. Around 6,000 people were suspended from crossing, lining either side of the road. The very public fate of these poor souls was a warning for everyone to see. See, they put it as example. Put it as an example to show people that put fear. If you don't bow down to me, you're going to do this. You're going to do you like this. This is why they did all people so bad, because they already knew it starts with us. Look at this. Because in the slavery days, they didn't want you to be free. Once you start running away, they send their dogs, which is beasts, to go after the people once they catch you. Or you got to bow down to them and their family and their children, and you don't do what they tell you to do. Or, boy, you better not look, girl, you doing this, and you better not drink this. They crucify you, hang you on a tree, set fire to you, just like the 3 Hebrew boys. They try to set them on fire. But the Most High Yahuah was with them. Look at this. It says, very public fate of these poor souls was a warning for everyone to see. The dead and dying was rebellious slaves. From Spartacus rebels as traitors. Look, as traitors, the Roman state elected to punish them with the harshest method of execution, crucifixion. The message was plain and simple. This is the fate that awaits for all who would dare to defy Roman power. What you think they want to do now? Trying to do anybody woke, go against them, they going to do this. But only way you free is Yahuah. He said death, Most High Yahuah said death come to all. It says the horrendous spectacle would not end after death. The bodies were left posted on the crosses until they fully decomposed or were entirely consumed by wild beasts. Now, why the cross? You see KKK had them crosses on them. You see they was in the church. I told you about the crosses. That's paganism. They really blasphemous. Saying, yeah, and have you worship the cross. The whole time they putting you on them. Burning the cross and everything. It says, for months, most of the crosses, they were fully decomposed or were entirely consumed by wild beasts. Don't they had them dogs after people? But then the Most High Yahuah also told us that he going to send birds. Because they had birds even eat the people too back in the days. Them vultures. Most High Yahuah said he going to send birds to them. They'll eat up their carcasses. He told us in the last video, in the other video. It says, for months on, the busiest streets in the Roman Empire was a highway of death and suffering. The message that the dead spoke at the Appian Way was eventually taken to heart, as there were never another slave revolt anywhere near the scale of spectral rebellion. Talking about Rome. They use it as an excuse. That's why he said we are examples to the Gentiles. Also how they did us and also how we should walk. This is why he say we peculiar people. We different. We not how they are. They sinful people. They devil worshippers. They do. And you see how they were just so happy, even had their children in the midst of this. Like it was okay. They don't have no sympathy for us. But that was humiliation, what they did to us. But look, this is what he gave me. Isaiah 47, against them. Babylon, America, the great harlot, anybody that's into that slavery, because they're British. I told y'all about the revolution, the patriots. They believed in that too. He gave me that. Told you they also in the churches. They believe in JC and into the church. Military, patriots. Y'all listen to the Most High Yahuah. Because many people went into that stuff with ignorance, but he been calling people out. That's why I say military. Patriots. And the church. Got you worshiping everything. That's why I say they use the same word against you as an enemy. You ain't coming in agreement and saying this word and going with them and participating in their rituals and stuff. You on their side now. But once you stop doing that and speak up and you got Yahuah and turn from it, you're an enemy. Look at it, says back in the days. Look, that's why I told you about the American flag and Uncle Sam. Look at him right there in that cone. Patriots, red, white, and blue. Star, America. Star, they love the universe. They gonna have a universe in them. And that's about the Immigration Act. What they didn't, they just have something about the Immigration Act, and they say with the immigrants, the Hispanics, but I told you it is also for us. Because some of them Hispanics, I told you, they Masonry too. They had, told you, I seen they talking about the immigration, and I read in the magazine, and they had the Hispanic man up there with the red, white, and blue, the boxes on, American boxes. These people are Freemasonry, witchcraft, manipulation. They in control of the matrix. Things of the world. That's why they always want their tax dollars and everything. Got their children participating. This way, say even do with their children. They, you know, back in the slavery days and even now with Trump and them, they feel like they can't be touched. Their children can't be touched. You know how they was in slavery days. Nobody could touch their children. Couldn't go to the playground. Black people, or you better not touch them. Can't even look at them. Feel like they were untouchable. Couldn't do nothing to them. But he finna show them. Let's go here in Isaiah 47. It say, come down and sit in the dust. O virgin daughters of Babylon, the great harlot, sit on the ground without a throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans, see the high place is throne. Superiority, superior. And just not with black and white, because that's just a color, they say. But it's with all races that believe in their racism and hate and evil. That don't believe in Yahuah shall set you free. Yahuah. That means Yah saves. JC is Zeus Christos. The Zeus. Why they have you worshiping JC? The white JC. But also they got a black JC. These people on both sides. This is what the Most High Yahuah said. He'd rather for you to be hot or cold. You need to pick. They on both sides. But this is why he said a narrow road. Yahuah, narrow road. Good and evil. Thank you, Father. Because black and white, good and evil. They have black as evil and white is purity. This is why they picked the black and white. But they double-minded. They on both sides. He say he hate a double-minded, but it's only one true narrow way. Yahuah. Yahuah and his son Yahuah save. The black and white cannot save you. And you can have all races. All black people is not named. They come from different nationalities and different languages and tongues. They not considered black. That's just what they say black. And all Caucasians or white people, all of them not that nationality. They come in all different colors and they've been different tongues and languages. But they have black and white. It's only one true way. It says, sit on the ground without a throne, O daughters of the Chaldeans, for you shall no more be called tender and delicate. This is why the Most High Yahuah tell us we have to humble ourselves. Don't think you more than nobody. We shouldn't think we higher than anybody. He even sent his son, Yahuah sent his son Yahuah. He even served. He been around to serve the people. He didn't think himself was higher than others because he gave his authority. He said he gave all acknowledgments to the Father. He said, it's not me. It's from my Father, his kingdom. That's why they have them titles and names and in church and they put who they want to pick and all this. And they think they're higher than them. He said proud and arrogant. We know better than the next man. We all the same. No matter what color, what your degree, we all the same. Nobody's better than the next man. They gave you them titles to make you feel like something. But since how that shut down, and you see how that this NWO and having AI take over now, your title and what you accomplished in school ain't nothing. Satan how you tricked. All that just so you could still pay your taxes to Uncle Sam. What we just seen. Okay, let's say says, take the millstone and grind mill, remove your veil, take off the skirt, uncover the thigh, pass through the rivers. Your nakedness shall be uncovered. He revealing. It says, yes, your shame will be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not arbitrate with a man. As for our Redeemer, Yahuah of hosts is his name, the only one of Yasharel. He the only true one. Sit in silence and go into darkness, O daughters of the Chaldeans, for you shall no longer be called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was angry with my people. He said, I was angry with my people before. I have profaned my inheritance and given them into your hands, captivity. And thank you, Father. He also said a lot of people can still go back to captivity. Go back to Egypt. He gonna have them with the NWO captivity. Because you know what? Disobedience. Went back to Egypt. He helped you freedom. You turn from Yahuah. Now you a lover of the world. You enemy to him. You no more living. You dead. He said he had turned them over for disobedience, remember? History repeating itself. Okay, it says, you show no mercy. On the elderly, you laid your yoke very heavily. Even on the elderly people, they put yokes on our necks. Bondages. But also back in the days, they did our elderly people, even us, slavery, our ancestors. Young, old, whatever. They had yokes on their neck. Egypt, slavery. Yokes on the neck. And they didn't care about the elderly, how old you were. They didn't have no sympathy for them. I don't care how old you is, whatever. They still did you like that. Did you like a dog. Still did you like a dog. But now it's into modern slavery. Yokes on your neck, bondage. It said, and you said, I shall be. Oh, thank you, Father. Also, Social Security. You see how they still have people as older? Now, you still ain't free. They want you to work till the day you die. And they still gonna take your stuff. Social Security and everything. You see how they going through all this? Still have older people. You still can't. You got a yoke on your neck. You never free. Your stuff they gave you or whatever they give you, you work hard through. You never free. It don't belong to you. It never will. The Father told us it would never belong to you. He said even the rich man, you working hard for this stuff don't belong to you. When you pass away, you can't take nothing with you because they giving you fake promises. He'll let us hold on things here because we're in the midst of the matrix. He'll still look out for his children. But don't bow. That you got to have these things that you believe that he can't make a way out of no way. His testimonies. He told us already. He get glory for his testimonies. We trust in him. Okay, it says, and you said I shall be a lady forever, so that you did not take these things to heart, nor remember the latter end of them. Therefore, hear this now, you who are given to pleasures, who dwell securely, who say in your heart, I am, and there's no other besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, nor shall I know the loss of a children. Back in the slavery days, you see, like even with the Egyptians in them. Back in the slavery days, even with our people, they feel like they untouchable. What they do now, they children high sedity, they can't be touched. Oh, I won't come no widow. Won't care how my husband or how my wife do. Can't nobody touch us. But these two things shall come to you in a moment, in one day. You know what the Most High Yahuah been giving me? I had seen 2 movies that said 8 seconds. And we know his time is not our time. But he gave me a movie talking about 8 seconds. What is 8 seconds in an hour? Well, I don't know. Let's see. He been giving me a movie called 8 seconds. Seconds to hours convert. 222. Let's see what's 222 in strong concordance. Let's see what that is. Two strong. Y'all, I looked that up. Guess what it means? Flame of Adonai. Flame. He told us fire. It say fire and arrows. It says, and lift your eyes. Let's see what this is. It means in doctrinal reflection. It says the name meaning my light is Adonai, or flame of Adonai. Flame, fire. Because he said 8 seconds. He gave me the movie. He brought it back to me. 8 seconds. And 8 seconds in an hour is 222. 222 in strong concordance in Hebrew mean flame of Adonai. Flame of Yahuah. Flame, fire. Destroy them with fire. Okay, let's go right here. It says, what you been talking about? Oh, his sword. Okay, it says, in a moment, in one day, 8 seconds. That got me thinking, remember he said in an hour? But his hour, his time, our time is not his time. Like, you know, his time is not our time. 8 seconds. That's quick, like that. He said suddenly. Yeah, but suddenly. 8 seconds. He gave me 2 movies that were different, talking about different stuff. And it just both of them said 8 seconds. That's quick. He said suddenly. The loss of children and a widowhood, they shall come upon you in their fullness because of the multitude of your sorceries. For the great abundance of your enchantments, for you have trusted in your wickedness. You have said, no one sees me, for wisdom and your wisdom and your knowledge have warped you. So they when that witchcraft, that higher wisdom and that higher knowledge, they like Solomon. And you said in your heart, I am, and there is no one else besides me. Therefore evil should come upon you, and you should not know from where it arises. And trouble shall fall upon you. You will not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon you suddenly, which you shall not know. Stand now with your enchantments and your multitude of your sorcery, in which you have labored from your youth. Perhaps you shall prevail. You are wearied in the multitude of your counsels. Let not the astrologers, the stargazer, and the monthly prognosticators. Told y'all prognostics. The masonries. And also that's witchcraft, because also when you go to the medical, they want to pronounce, like they prognostic you. Like they give you they try to give you I'm trying to say that word. Like they'll diagnose you with something. Pro-diagnostics. Told you, and he told us also be careful when you go to this medical field. Witchcraft and stuff, y'all. Be careful. Prognosticators and your monthly prognosticators. Stand up and save you. You think they're going to save you from what shall come upon you in this matrix? Behold, they should be as stubble. A fire shall burn them. Didn't he just give us this about 222? A fire, a flame, a fire from Adonai? It says, a fire shall burn them, and they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. It should not be a coal to be warmed by them, nor a fire to sit before. Thus shall they be to you, which whom you have labored, your merchants from your youth. They shall wander each one to his quarter. No one shall save you. So they're going to be, remember Revelation said they're going to see them in the smoke far off, that we'll see them far off in the smoke. Revelation 18, the fall of Babylon the Great. After these things I saw another angel coming down from heaven, having great authority, and the earth was illuminated with his glory. And he cried mightily with a loud voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become a dwelling place of demons, a prison for every foul spirit, and a cage for every unclean and hatred bird. For all nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication. The kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants, talking about the people of the earth, have become rich through the abundance of her luxury. Told you, they think you gotta do some kind of witchcraft and sorcery. That you gotta bow down to them and do all kind of stuff to get their luxury. That beast system. He told us come out of Babylon, y'all. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, lest you share in her sins. Come out of her. You know, just like I said the earth, because Most High Yahuah said the earth, the whole world. It's just not American Babylon. They daughters of Babylon the Great Harlot. But slavery, you see also France and all of them, they coming out with that, doing them IDs. The whole world on the system, I told you, he said the whole world is a matrix. No matter where you run to. It starts right here. You got to get yourself free. It says, the word have become the rich through the abundance of her luxury. Okay. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, lest you share in her sins. They have you doing sinful stuff? They had us doing sinful stuff with them. Lest you share in her sins, and lest you receive of her plagues. He told us plagues. For her sins have reached to heaven. For her sins have reached to heaven, and Adonai has remembered her iniquities. It reached way up to where he at, to the firmament. Render to her just as she rendered to you, and repay her double according to her works. In the cup which she had mix double for her. In the measures that she glorified herself and lived luxuriously, in the same measure give her torment and sorrow. For she says in her heart, I sit as a queen, and I am no widow. Royalty. It said, therefore, okay, I sit as a queen, and I am no widow, and will not sorrow. Therefore, her plagues will come in one day. In one day, 8 seconds. He just gave us this. He just gave us the same thing in Isaiah 47. Talking about her and her children. Royalty. Let's keep on going, y'all. It says, therefore, her plagues will come in one day, death and mourning and famine. And she will be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahuah who judges her. The kings of the earth who committed fornication and lived luxury with her will weep and lament for her. When they see the smoke of her burning, standing at the distance of fear of her torment. You know what he had me at with this? When he had me right here, they will weep and lament for her when they see the smoke of her burning, standing at the distance for fear of her torment, saying, at last, the great Babylon, the great mighty city, for in 1 hour your judgment has come. You know how you just gave us that humiliation, how they did us, our ancestors, how the Romans did the slaves back in the days, and I just read y'all about the slavery, humiliation, how they said they would see them standing out far. Remember how they said they had them standing on the roads, and even how they did our ancestors, they light them on fire and stand them up on the crosses and so everybody could see. You're going to see the same thing. Birds going to eat them. Dogs. Every beast. And now it's going to do the same thing. And people going to see far off. He got me to the point like, how do you have me like that, y'all? He said people would see the torment of her. He told us about who he gonna take us up and we're gonna see it. He said the whole world mourns. It says the kings of the earth who committed fornication and lived luxury with her will weep and lament for her. When they see the smoke of her burning, kings, they will see. They're going to stand and see it right in front of their face. They're going to see, while all this happening, they're going to be able to see the torture they're going to get. Will weep and lament for her. When they see the smoke of her burning, standing at the distance for fear of her torment, saying, at last, the great city Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour your judgment has come. Because remember the Most High Yahuah told me, they don't believe in his second coming. Remember he told me they don't believe in his second coming. How people just, they don't believe that he's coming back. And he said, when right here got me at when they say at last, they're going to say, oh, it's finally happening. They're going to say, oh, it's finally happening. At last, the great city Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour the judgments have come. This is what they're going to say. They're going to say, oh, he really came back. And the merchants of the earth will weep and mourn over her, for no one buys their merchandise anymore. Merchants of gold and silver, precious stones and pearls, fine linen and purple, silk and scarlet, every kind of citric wood, every kind of every kind of object of ivory, every kind of object of most precious wood, bronze, iron, and marble, and cinnamon and incense, fragrance oil and frankincense, wine and oil, fine flour and wheat, cattle and sheep, horse and chariots, and bodies and souls of men. But also, Mosiah too told me that they're going to see far off on this. Well, people going to see where it's going to happen through this. Everybody going to see what's happening through this. This is how everybody going to see. It says, the fruit that your soul longed for has gone with you, and all things which are rich and splendid did not have gone from you, and you shall find them no more at all. The merchants of these things who became rich by her will stand at a distance of the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing and saying, at last, the great city of Babylon. It says, the people of these things who became rich by her will stand at a distance for fear of her torment, weeping and wailing and saying, alas, the great city that was clothed by fine linen, purple and scarlet, adorned in gold and precious gems and stones. For 1 hour such great riches came to nothing. So he got this twice. So it said the kings will see and the people will see. And they all gonna say the same thing. At last, the great city of Babylon, the mighty city, for 1 hour the judgment has come. The kings gonna see and the people. The merchants. For 1 hour such great riches came to nothing. Every shipmaster who all travel by ships, sailors, and as many as trade on the sea stood at a distance and cried out when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what is it like this great city? Slave masters, slave owners. Told you he had us in this slave owners. But also, who run the world? Freemasonry people, all who run the world, they gonna see. They threw dust on their heads and cried out, weeping and wailing, and saying, at last, the great city in which all who had ships on the sea became rich by her wealth. For in 1 hour she had made desolate. Rejoice over her, O heavens. Look, O heavens, talking about for we should rejoice in your holy apostles and prophets, for your Adonai has avenged on your heart. Because he's going to have us up, we're going to be able to see. We have to rejoice. So this means he's destroying the world, the kings who run the world, talking about this matrix, and the people that bind it. He's going to destroy the whole world. It says the world. It said the world mourns. All them in the world gonna mourn. Because it's going to happen. They getting destroyed too. It says, then a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and threw it into the sea, saying, thus with violence the great city of Babylon shall be thrown down, and shall not be found any more. The sound of the harpist, musician, flutists, and trumpers shall not be heard in it any more. No craftsmen. What did I tell you Freemason and them say they call craftsmen? Craftsmen of any craft should be found in you anymore, and the sound of all millstones should not be heard in you anymore. The light of the lamp should not shine in you anymore, and the voice of the bridegroom and the bride should not be heard in you anymore. You know, it got me with bride and bridegroom. Remember the Most High y'all took us about Solomon, with him with the universe. The Song of Solomon, when it was the bride getting ready for the bridegroom, and how he got switched over with the queen of heaven through the great daughter of Egypt, Babylon. They won't be sounding now anymore. Anybody with their bride that's married to the universe, it's gonna be black, dark. This when he said bridegroom, and the voice of bridegroom and the bride shall not be heard in you anymore, for your merchants were the great men of the earth. For by your sorcery all nations were deceived, and in her was found the blood of prophets and saints, and all who were slain on the earth. It said, after these things I heard a loud voice of a great multitude in heaven, saying, Alleluia, salvation and glory and honor and power belongs to Adonai, our Yahuah. For true and righteous are his judgments, because he has judged the great harlot who corrupted the earth with her fornication, and he has avenged on her the blood of his saints shed by her. Again they said, Hallelujah. Her smoke rise up forever and ever. And the 24 elders and the 4 living creatures fell down and worshipped Adonai, who sat on the throne, saying, Amen, Hallelujah. Then a voice came from the throne, saying, Praise our Adonai, for all you, his servants, and those who fear him, both small and great. And I heard as it were the voice of a great multitude, as the sound of many waters, and the sound of mighty thunder, saying, Hallelujah. For the Adonai Yahuah, omnipotent, reigns. Let us all be glad and rejoice and give him glory. For the marriage of the Lamb has come, and his wife has made herself ready. And to her it was granted to array in the fine linen, clean and bright, for the fine linen as righteous acts of the saints. This got me by when he carry us up. Everybody, we all gonna be praising him at his throne, because we exalted up above him when he took us out. We're gonna be praising him and giving praise about him destroying Babylon. It says, then he said to me, Right, blessed are those who are called to the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he said to me, These are the true sayings of Adonai. And I fell at his feet to worship. But he said to me, See that you do not do that. I am your fellow servant and your brethren, who have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship Yahuah, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. Totally talk about his testimony. And move to the marriage supper. Because remember also, there you go, Abba. Remember he told us about the Triumph Festival, the marriage supper. But also he said about, that he said that the Triumph Festival, that he going to send the birds to eat at the supper. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Abba. Ezekiel. Thank you. He just gave me Ezekiel 39:17. And for you, son of man, thus says Adonai Yahuah, speak to every sort of bird and every beast of the field. Told you beast and bird. Assemble yourselves and come, gather together from all sides of my sacrificial meal, for I am sacrificing for you a great sacrificial meal on the mountain of Israel, that you may eat flesh and drink blood. You shall eat the flesh of the mighty, drink the blood of the prince of the earth, of rams and lambs and goats and bulls, All of them fattening abashment. You should eat fat till you are full and drink blood till you are drunk at my sacrificial meal, which I am sacrificing for you. And you shall be filled at my table with horses and riders, with mighty men, and with all the men of war, says Adonai. And then that's what I'm saying. He was released from the bottomless pit. And that's why it says he's released. That's why you know his time is short. Because we're coming to the point that the Most High Yahuah is going to have us at war and destroy him. That's where we at now. Persecution. That's why I say Satan been released. But he know his time is short. But also, y'all, get faithful and don't walk in hate. Love. Because what that stuff doing, that KKK and different races and stuff, that black and white, that's causing hate. Cause hate, y'all. They thrive off of hate. Sins, negativity. But I'm going to give y'all that real quick. Y'all be blessed.